In this video, I'm going to detail how I went about creating bacteria lawns and streak plates with the poured agar petri dishes that we used. Okay, so the components of this lab were actually pretty simple. There was a microcentrifuge tube that was given to us full of bacteria, and that bacteria was specifically E. coli, and the type of E. coli is called HB101. So we have the centrifuge tube of HB101, and we would dip a sterile Q-tip in, which I'm doing right now. We had poured agar into these different petri dishes. And basically what we're doing now is, since we have the agar as a base, or like a place for bacteria to grow, what we want to do is rub the bacteria all along the surface of the agar so that we can just let it grow. And how you want to rub it is, you want to start by basically rubbing along the diameter of the petri dish, and then go upwards and fill that entire semicircle. And then you want to do this 3 times, and after each time you finish the semicircle, you want to turn it about 120 degrees, as I'm doing right now, so that the bacteria is actually spread out evenly and it will grow well as it's stuck in the incubation oven. Alright, so as I'm finishing up here, I think I'm gonna show the lab table and the workstation. So that's the Q-tip, and then that's the HB101 and the other agar petri dish. Alright, and here we go again. Here's the Q-tip, and I just dipped it in the HB101. And I'm essentially repeating this again on another petri dish because we had stuck it in the wrong oven before, so we needed to redo it. So I decided to film this again, but it's the same process, so yeah. Okay, and here's an example of what you should be getting once your streak plate is complete and bacteria has sufficiently grown along the surface of the agar. Okay, first of all, I want to just say that disclaimer, I did this incorrectly. Like, my steps and my process for this was incorrect, I believe. I'm not sure if I actually do it right on video, but this is how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to take one colony from another person's streak plate, or like a colony of bacteria that's already grown, and then basically put them into 4 quadrants each time, and before applying into each quadrant, you sterilize the loop once. So you take it from the grown colony and then you streak it once on your plate in 1 quadrant. And then for the second quadrant, see, as I'm doing right there, I'm doing it incorrectly. I'm spreading it across like a whole half, so I had to section off my plate kind of funny and like marker it and show where the bacteria was the strongest in terms of growth and where it should be the weakest because of the sterilization and the flaming. However, you're actually supposed to, every time per quadrant, you're supposed to flame it once and then track how the growth of bacteria changes per like amount of sterilization with the flame. Okay, so in this photo I essentially show where I went wrong and like what I actually ended up doing through this experiment, even though it's supposed to be sectioned off into like 4 different quarters and you're supposed to track the difference of growth between those quarters. I sectioned it off incorrectly, and that is something you should try to avoid when you're actually trying to go through this process for yourself. Thank you, and goodbye. That's all I got today.